How's it going, guys? Happy holidays. So, I'm usually not one to do this, but this video did take me a long time. Between searching for pictures and, recollecting all of my experiences. Um, so, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to ask you if you like this video to please like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. I would really appreciate it. That's it. Enjoy. And to all the haters and naysayers and trolls and whoever wants to argue with me, I would like you to go down in the comments and give me a list. How many jobs can you find in which you make $900 a week after a month and a half? That's good enough. How's it going, guys? Good morning. It's the Peruvian trucker back with another video. I'm out here in Peoria, Kansas, delivering this load. It's a cargo load that picked up in a small town in Pennsylvania. I had to drive through the mountains. It was really nice. A really nice drive, actually. But yeah, so I made it over a day early to this facility. It's I don't remember the name. Dang, doesn't matter. It's this pet something in Peoria, Kansas. My appointment wasn't until 3 in the afternoon today. I made it at 11 in the morning yesterday. When I was about 100 miles away, I called them to see if they had, if there was any chance they could take me early. They said that they couldn't guarantee it, but that I could, try. And I figured it'd be just nicer to get here. And I wanted to shower. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to shower yesterday, but I figured it'd be just nicer to, make it all the way here, take my chances on getting unloaded early, and just catch a shower after I complete my delivery. There's a pilot like 5-6 miles away. I just didn't feel like going there and park and then come here. I could just come here and try to push for a 34-hour reset while I'm sitting here instead of ruining that by moving from the pilot to my delivery address at some point today if I would have done that yesterday. So here we are. And as you can see, I'm in the back of the cab. I have the DJI mic, which I gotta stop mentioning that. You guys should just take that for granted. but I like mentioning it because every time that I get a chance to use it, there's a bunch of noise around me. It's like 25, 26 degrees outside. I have the bunk heater on, and I can hear it, but I'm sure you guys can't. But I guess let me show you. Right, so yeah, I like promoting this as much as I can. This was $329, but it's been great. But anyway, that's not why you clicked on this video. A couple days ago, a new viewer, I believe, because he hasn't commented on my channel before. I don't remember his entire YouTube handle, but I'm gonna post this comment up here. He asked me, how was the experience coming to Prime? And, well, I started my YouTube channel when I was in TNT. I really had no intentions of doing this, but my trainer, Truck Money BG, pushed me into it. He probably pushed me a little bit too hard because I've been very consistent and almost faithful to it, but again, I always I probably don't do this enough, but thanks to Truck Money BG, my trainer, for getting me down this road. It's been a great opportunity to share my experience with you guys. But because I started on TNT, I didn't get to share the orientation process, and I guess it would have been nice, but I think that to a degree it's better to do it now because I can look back to the entire process and and share my experience as a whole, making it, I guess, more accurate. But anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so I guess that if we're doing this, I have to take you back to the very beginning, which is back in November 2021. I was working for Porsche. And I guess I bashed the car business more than I should. I loved working on cars. But there's certain aspects about the car industry that I don't like. I'm not gonna get into that right now. And there were certain things that were going on in my life that I wasn't really, like, I was okay with it, I was coping with them, but I wasn't heading down a good path. You know, spending money with my cars, just some personal drama. Yeah, so but the nail in the coffin was in November 2021, and I remember this vividly. I was, you know, just regular day at Porsche working on cars. One of my friends, the guy that worked next to me, Tony, I was just having a conversation with him, and it suddenly hit me. He's 45 years old at the time. I'm 28. And that reality hit me. I'm like, you know, I'm 28 years old right now. Am I really going to be, can I really stay down this path for another 15 years at least? You know, he's 45, he's doing literally the same job that I'm doing. And yes, you know, you get pay increases, but it's basically the same job. You just get retrained for the newest thing. Unless you open an independent shop, which is still working on cars, dealing with customers, dealing with the car business. So, you know, reality hit me at that point. And I didn't get desperate, but I realized that I had to actively and quickly find an alternative, because that really wasn't the path that I wanted to head down, you know. The car business, again, I like doing it, but I'm still fairly young. You know, being 45 years old and still getting burned, still, you know, muscling car parts out of a car, etc. It's not an appealing proposition for me, you know. So anyway, I thought again about trucking. I had taken multiple road trips through 2020, 2021 in the midst of COVID. Like, there was really not much to do for me than to just go out and drive. And I loved it and enjoyed it. I've mentioned this in the past. Through 2021, I took 2 road trips. Yeah, and I just drove my car wherever I could. I went to I did a road trip in which I slept in the car for 4 days, and I ended up showering at a Walmart. So that was probably a precursor for trucking. And then I made a road trip with my friend to Nashville in August, in between jobs, in between BMW and Porsche. So by November, you know, when I was like questioning what I could do, like trucking was really in my mind, just driving, you know, like what can I enjoy, like something that I can really enjoy and getting paid for doing. right? And I found the Asian Mai video with trucking along with Kiersey, 3 hour and 30-minute video. I remember that vividly as well. I was in the tire room at Porsche listening to that while I was doing tires, and like getting sold on it, getting excited about the idea of doing this. And in December, after doing more research about Prime, discussing it with my dad and with my parents, which were very supportive, I was ready to pull the trigger. And I remember that I called early December to get it. I filled out the application and I got called by. No, actually, I called before I filled out the application, because I called and they tell you that once you fill the application, you have 30 days to be on orientation. And that wasn't going to work out for me. I needed to get my ducks in a row before I can make the switch. So thankfully I called first. In the next couple weeks, I studied for my permit. I got my permit, and then I don't remember what I did first, but either I filled out the application or contacted my recruiter, Heather Merle, and she set me up for the physical at a facility near my house, literally 5 minutes away. And by December 27th, we got to December 27th, and I had a decision to make. So by December 27th, I had already acquired my permit, and I had passed my DOT physical. And I had to pick my date for orientation. I was hoping to get sent to Pittston, which was the closest terminal, but my recruiter sent me for Springfield, and we set the orientation date to January 17th, 2022. And all that was great, said and done, but I had a dilemma. I had a decision to make, which was, do I do right by my company, Porsche, and give them a 2 weeks notice, or stay at this job while until the very last day and then just drive to Springfield? Or do I make the most of my last 2 weeks in Florida before I embark on this journey? And I chose to do the second thing. I don't condone quitting out of the blue. Certainly it's good to maintain good relationships with the companies that you work with, but I really wasn't planning on coming back. I do realize that at least in the car business, in multiple industries, if you're very replaceable and disposable, and as much as I would like to ride by them, I also have to do right by me, and I wanted to make the most of my time before I embarked on this journey. So December 31st, I walked in at 8 in the morning, and I basically told my shop foreman that was going to be my last day. And I'm not gonna lie, I had some fantasies of like you see on movies, maybe of giving out the reasons why I was not happy at that job to them. But I ended up just saying, hey man, I just have some personal issues and I'm not working past tonight or past today. And they got me in touch with HR to talk to them and try to, but I really didn't want to throw anyone under the bus, so I just stick to the fact that it was a personal decision, and and that was my last day. Yeah, I had a great 2 weeks After that, I went biking a lot. I went to the beach a bunch of times, spent time with a lot of friends. And you know, around January 14th, I packed my car and I went to Springfield. So the way it works is Prime will cover your expenses getting to Springfield or getting into orientation and training, and then they will house you in a hotel and will give you $200 a week, basically to cover your food expenses while you're there. You can use your money. You can use that money as you please. They will loan you those $200. Let me make sure that's clear. They will loan you those $200, and then they will take them back in $25 a week increments once you're hired. Hey guys, so I just wanted to reassure that I believe that Prime is very kind by giving the $200 a week and housing you in a hotel, because at one point in my life I tried to get a job at Spirit Airlines, and yeah, their training was a month without pay or housing or anything. You basically had to finance your own training, and Prime doesn't need to do the things that they do, but they do it anyway. So yeah. So in my particular scenario or situation, you know, I had expenses at home that I had to cover, so to the tune of around $2,000. So what I ended up doing to cover my expenses while I went to orientation and training is I emptied out my 401k, which was at around $6,000, which was actually exactly the amount I needed to cover up to 3 months. I had made my research and I knew that within 3 months I was going to be more than ready, or within 3 months I was already going to be an employee of Prime, making the $900 a week that they pay during TNT. So and it ended up being less than that. By mid-February, I already had my CDL and I was already making the $900 a week. So what I did is I took what was left of the money that I emptied out of my 401k. I had to pay taxes on that, but I also cleared some medical bills that I had from an accident back in 2018. Yeah. Hey guys, so I forgot to mention, I also took out the engine out of my BMW and sold it to finance my career change as well. So I had to do what I had to do. But again, we fast forward to January 17th. Prime covered my gas expenses. I chose to drive. You can choose to either fly to Springfield or take a bus or whatever. I mean, this is still mid-COVID. I mean, early 2021, still COVID. I mentioned in the past that through 2020, 2021, I took a lot of road trips and I love driving. So driving to Springfield was going to be my choice from the beginning. So like driving anywhere, like wherever I go, I choose to drive. So they cover my expenses. I believe it was like $360 between 3 fuel stops to Springfield. I stayed in the hotel one night, and I didn't submit that actually. I don't know if they would have covered that, but I only sent them my fuel receipts. So it ended up being like $360 that I got reimbursed to get to Springfield, and then you get the $200 a week starting as soon as you're there. Orientation was again January 17th. I don't remember if it was a Monday or I think it was a Wednesday. actually. But yeah, like the first couple of days, you gotta go through your paper. They go through your paperwork, your background. Um, mm, then, uh, let's see. Yeah, the first 2 3 days, from like Wednesday to Friday, you go through. They go through your paperwork, your background, and they make sure your documents are in order. They give you your first ID card, which is like the green card, if I'm not mistaken. Um, they set up your account for the $200 a week, and you have to do a lot of computer-based training, and you also get to sit in the hotel for the most part. In between the orientation sessions, if you will. There's like a simulator session, or you'll go to the pads. Once you're done with orientation, you go to the pads and do practice pre-trip, do walk-arounds in trucks for a couple hours, and then just you're done for the day. You gotta wait for a TNT trainer for a PSD trainer to be available. So there's a lot of sitting, and that's where having my car was a plus for me. I got to explore Springfield. They have a Route 66 museum that I went to. They also have the fantastic caverns, not terribly far from Springfield. And also I went downtown a couple times, go to the movies, go get a burger, yeah, stuff like that. Which again, made my experience very enjoyable. I understand that a lot of people are probably like, very tight with their budget and can't do things like that, but that's what I did. And I certainly don't regret it. I had a great time through orientation in PSD. Again, I had to wait like maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks from orientation to when I got my PSD trainer. So it was a lot of just driving into the Millennium Building. Driving into the Millennium Building, parking, walking to the plaza, just for like your checkup. They wanted you to be there once every 2 days. And then I would just like either spend time in my hotel room, studying my pre-trip, or just watching movies, going outside, going to the gym in the Millennium, getting meals at the Millennium to save some money, stuff like that. Shortly after that, I got my PSD trainer. Great trainer. I'm not going to put his name out there. I'm just going to say great trainer. And trained at the pads, exclusively at the pads, for all the maneuvers, and then, just around Springfield for just real driving conditions. For PSD, at least my PSD trainer wanted me to get at least 10 hours of real world driving. And we did that in like 2-hour increments, so 2 to 3 hour increments. So that took a while, combined with a PSD training at the pads, training the alley dock and the parallel parking and the straight line back. That took about another 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, I would say. And the reason why it took longer, honestly, I wasn't complaining. Again, other people would probably be desperate to like get their CDL and get out there and drive. I had the money. I was just enjoying the whole process without any anxiety or necessity to rush, right? So, um, so yeah, just going along for the ride. My PSD trainer took his time, and I was fine with it. Um, there was a blizzard in between weeks, so we lost probably 5 days, 4 or 5 days of potential training. Um, but again, I was fine with that. So, it is what it is. I'm enjoying the experience. And by February 20th, I believe, keep in mind, I started in January 17th orientation. February 20th, February 21st, around that time, I took my test and passed. I trifected and passed my CDL exam. It's another thing. If you guys don't know, if you go to Prime and you pass your CDL test on your first try, you get a $250 bonus, which I was very happy to get. So again, the test consists of 3 parts. It's the pre-trip, the backing maneuvers, and the driving test. The pre-trip, I missed one thing. I forgot, and I hated that. I got everything right except checking the slack adjustment and push rod on your brakes. That's the one thing that I missed, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little salty now because my truck came with disc brakes, so there's I don't have to check that. But anyway, yeah, I missed that. Then I had to parallel park for my backing maneuver, and then I had the real world test, which I passed. So, yeah, I got my CDL by February 20th, and then the wait for a TNT trainer began. They asked me if I wanted to, just wait for a TNT trainer in Springfield, or if I wanted to go home, and I chose to go home. And this was great. So I told my parents to meet me in Nashville because I was going to be driving back to Florida, and we made it a little tiny trip. Basically spent a little bit in Nashville. I had been there in the past, so I showed them around. And yeah, we did a bunch of stuff in Nashville. Then we went to Chattanooga, and then did we stop in Atlanta? I don't think we stopped in Atlanta. I think we drove past Atlanta and made our way back to Florida. And I spent about 5 weeks getting paid to sit at home waiting for a TNT trainer, which again, my experience has been great, guys. I'm sorry I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I had a great time at home, just chilling, going to the beach. I tried doing delivery dudes or Grubhub to try to make some extra money, but that didn't work out. It wasn't really. Well, I have a BMW, so fuel economy, it's not that car's goal. So it wasn't really working out for me. After that, I also went on a road trip with some friends to Ocala, like a biking road trip. We had a great time. And around 25th, I got picked up by my trainer, Truck Money BG, and that's where my YouTube channel starts. And that's pretty much it. That's my experience leading to orientation and PSD training. I mentioned this in the past, and I will mention this again. Just a wonderful experience for me. Everybody that I encountered was pretty nice, pretty respectful, um, and yeah, no complaints. And and to all the haters and naysayers and trolls and whoever wants to argue with me, I would like you to go down in the comments and give me a list. How many jobs can you find in which you make $900 a week after a month and a half? Like, how many careers can you start with $900 a week with so little time invested? You know, no college degree. And if that's your situation, you know, think about it. A person that's 21 years old invests a month and a half, 2 months, 3 months, it doesn't matter, less than a semester of college to start making $900 a week without any ties or debts. Yes, Prime does ask for you to do a year with them in exchange of the training, but I could pay that tenfold right now if I wanted to break my agreement, but there is no reason. They're on top of the benefit of getting your CDL like that. You're just a good company. There's no reason to look elsewhere. I've mentioned that before. And you need the experience anyway. Like, unless you find someone that's willing to insure you with a brand new CDL, where else are you gonna go? Like, you know, the baseline is amazing in trucking. Again, the money, I mean, the money was good as well. $900 a week. I mean, that was the same I was making in Porsche, if not a little bit more. But when you take into account that your cars are moving, that you don't have to pay for car insurance, if you're me, I still send some money home. But if you are no longer paying for rent or living expenses, like, those are deductions or those are things that you can subtract or you know, stop doing, that are a potential saving, if you will. Obviously, like, my situation, it's very different. Like, you know, I still have my cars that I want to keep. I have my storage unit. I still, you know, pay rent, you know, contribute at the house. But a lot of people don't have to do that. So, I mean, if I could make it work with those expenses, someone that's really looking to cut all expenses and go 100% in, or go all into trucking, the potential to make money is much bigger than me, and I'm having a great time. So keep that into consideration, right? And yeah, like I said, like, I've had such a great experience with Prime to this date. You know, like, after PSD TNT with my trainer, we had a great time. I mean, you can look back, going to Chicago, going to New York, I had a great trainer that had a similar mindset to mine. We are not opposed to making money, but we're not opposed to enjoying our time on the road either. So, yeah. We went to Chicago, we went to New York, we went on hikes in California. A lot of nice time at good restaurants. Texas Roadhouse is a must. And yeah, and I carried that mindset to solo. Like, I mean, now it's winter, so I don't step out of the truck as much because I hate the cold. But I still enjoy my time. If I have to say it, I have to say it. Like, I mean, I'm not going to complain when I get paid detention or layover to, you know, play Xbox or watch a movie or play guitar. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm not, yeah. But anyway, I hope this video was helpful. This is, again, my experience. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments or message me on my Instagram. I'll be more than happy to answer them or make other videos addressing them. But also, I had an experience a couple days ago. Please be respectful if you message me on Instagram. Yeah. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but because I really want to help anyone that asks for help or has questions. But please be respectful. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you made it to this part of the video. Hopefully my experience was helpful to a degree. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.